here in Pickens, South Carolina, and I'm visiting with Carrie Owen, the proprietor of Bee Well Honey. Carrie, you have had an interesting life for somebody who's a honeybee man. Tell me how you evolved finally back into honeys, which you did when you were a little boy.
Well, basically it was out of necessity. Survival is what I call it. I'd lost my job, and so I fell back on what I knew how to do. And as a kid growing up, I was a farmer. We was a farming family. And so I picked honeybees, which is kind of unusual, but Clemson University suggested it, and I went with it, and it's worked out pretty good.
So when you started, you had to just start getting some hives, and did you have some property to put them on? How did it really begin?
Well, we did have some property, but I had a friend in Boone, North Carolina who had honeybees, and he brought me one hive, and we put it in the backyard, and I went out there and piddled with it every once in a while, and it kind of grew on me. And so I met an old man in Easley, South Carolina. His name was Paul Rogers, and he kind of helped me along, and we just started growing and getting more and more bees.
One of the things that I think is very exciting is that last year you were selected for quite an honor. Tell us what that was, please.
Well, it was the Swisser Sweets Sunbelt Expo Southeastern South Carolina Farmer of the Year.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. I didn't know what it was until last year when they nominated me, and then I won South Carolina, which was amazing, and we were very honored because we were put into a group of farmers that I really respected, that I'd worked with for years and years, like Tom Trantham at Happy Cow Creamery, and James Cooley at Strawberry Hill.
Right. Yeah.
So I was put into that same little group with those guys, and I really was honored.
One of the things you said that they recognized you for was the cooperative aspect of how you work with some of these smaller growers, smaller beekeepers, and it allows them to stay productive and have that aspect of their business. And you seem to really want to reach out to other people. You said people helped you learn about it. Do you have the idea of wanting to help others learn as they helped you when you were young?
That's the only way that I have known how to do it. I had some really good friends, Bob Benny. I could name many, so I won't start naming them because I don't want to leave anybody out. But I had a lot of good friends that helped me. And so when we got to a time to where I couldn't produce as much of everything, I used to make the bee supplies and the packaged bees and make all the nucleus splits and everything. And when I couldn't supply all of my customers, I started reaching out to others. And so we did. We have a group of cooperative farmers that we've worked together now for almost 20 years, and it's working out pretty good for us.
There are a lot of new people coming into it, and the facility that we're standing in now is a place where I think you have supplies available that can help people get started. And beyond that, I believe you even have classes. Tell us about boot camp and
That's
some of the
right,
others.
That's right. We have beekeeping boot camp. Basically, we do it for beginning beekeepers or advanced beekeepers, how to extract honey, how to overwinter your colonies in the wintertime. Anything that beekeepers need to learn how to do, then we try to teach them how to do it the very best way we can. And we do mead classes and candle making classes and school tours, 4-H, you name it, church groups. They come here to see our glass observation hive. And so we try to do the educational part of it, but we also have everything they need. If they need bees or beekeeping equipment or the protective gear, we have it available for them.
And for the smaller people, your room in which you extract the honey is even separated into two portions for large and small people, I believe.
That's right. Well, it gets kind of expensive when you start buying stainless steel. And so a lot of the homeschool families and the smaller beekeepers that's just getting started, it's kind of tough for them to spend all the money to get the bees and their protective gear and the things that they need, and then start buying stainless steel to extract the honey. And so we provide a room for those beekeepers to come here and use. It's a certified honey house, and they can extract their honey here.
So it's all commercially approved and commercially graded.
That's right.
And then you've got a fascinating bottling plant, and you use a process that just uses very tepid kind of water so that your honey doesn't lose any of the enzymes or pollen aspects to it. Does that help with the health benefits of the honey, the way that you get it into the bottles?
Well, our honey has always been, we call it Be Well honey.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that, is we always thought it was healthy, and we wanted to make sure that we kept the integrity of the product, even though we were doing it on a much larger scale. And so we had to come up with unique ideas and ways to do it so that we kept the integrity of the product. And so we don't strain and filter our honey except through a cheesecloth. Mm-hmm. It goes into a settling tank. It's kept at 110 degrees.
So none of those enzymes or things are destroyed?
The enzymes are still there. The pollen
intact.
is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a very unique setup, and the public is welcome to come and visit it.
Natural, healthy foods are a part of your plan too, and y'all have a physical store that I believe your daughter is running where all kinds of things are. Tell us about the store, the Be Well store in downtown Pickens.
Well, that's the one people are most familiar with because we've had it now for 12 years. It's 205 Hampton Avenue in Pickens, and when I was on the road delivering our honey, I would drive into a place and unload the honey, and then whatever they was growing or making there, I would put in the back of my truck and bring it back to my store. And so we ended up with a local food store, and we've expanded it over the years, and now we have North Carolina and Georgia products in there too. But we have a pretty good health food store, and we have bulk spices and things like that this time of year people really do love.
Y'all don't slow down at all up here, but the bees do slow down in the wintertime. But springtime is the very active time. And for people who want to get into the bee business, it's an active time for them. And y'all have a way to help people do that by a distribution system you have set up. Tell me how people come and get bees and what you've got planned for them.
Well, springtime is the time when the flowers start to bloom and the pollen is in the air. That's the time when bees reproduce, and therefore we have more bees then for customers than any other time. And you can go to our website every year to find out when our bee days are. They're on Saturdays, and if you've lost colonies or if you're brand new and getting ready to start this beekeeping venture, you can come and pick up your packages and go home, and you've got a brand new pet that will also give you some very sweet honey.
Carrie, I think you've been a leader in raising the awareness of how important bees are in South Carolina, and also in helping people who want to become beekeepers learn how to take care of these important and precious animals. And we want to thank you for all of that. And I know a lot of people would like to know more about all the things that y'all have going on here in Pickens. So tell us, if we want to learn more about Be Well Honey, where do we go?
BeWellHoneyFarm.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, or you can give us a call, 864-898-5122.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to show us around today.
Thank you very much.